and welcome to Laine Talks Anime, where I talk about the anime I'm watching on a daily basis. Sometimes it'll be a review of a show, sometimes it'll be episode by episode. For instance, Scrapped Princess, Chaika, and what was it, the other one? Outbreak Company, I'm doing episode by episode. However, Macademi Wasshoi, I couldn't finish it. It's weird, it's nuts, it's not a lot of plot. It didn't make any sense. It was fun at first, but it was kind of like, I don't know. So that one I am not watching anymore. And if you're wondering what all those shows have in common, it is the author, Ichiro Sakaki, who is a very, very, very talented writer. I really like him. I really like Chaika especially. So we're just going to go through the shows one by one, recapping them for you so you'll get up to speed on what's going on, and then we'll start at episode 10 and work our way from there. So we're gonna start with Chaika because Chaika is my favorite. Well, actually not from episode 10 because Chaika we're starting from episode 2. But basically the plot of this show is that Toru and his sister were saboteurs in a war, and that war has ended, and now Toru, they don't have any work anymore because saboteurs are no longer needed. So Toru just wants to sit on his ass and do nothing, and he just basically wants to be lazy. His sister, on the other hand, is not having it. She's like, you need to get a job. You need to figure out what to do with your life. I love their dynamic. It's really fun. And one day, they are hired by a young girl named Chaika to go and locate this thing, which turns out to be her father's hand in episode 2. So we'll start from 3 actually. But they are hired to go and locate this thing at this guy's mansion. And the fight choreography in this show is really good. I really like how dynamic it is. I like that there's a lot of use of projectiles, because this show has a magic system where Toru and his sister can strengthen themselves through a chant that's very similar to the Unlimited Blade Work chant, but it's not the same, I should mind you. It's different enough that it can't be confused for plagiarism. But he can strengthen himself, and he fights using that system. He also is very good at setting traps, and that's one thing you don't see in a lot of anime with a lot of protagonists. He's very savvy with that kind of thing and that so he can be proactive when he wants to be, but he is generally very lazy, and he doesn't go out of his way to do things if he doesn't want to do them. And honestly, he sounds like me. I immediately clicked with Toru as a protagonist just because of that, because he sounds so much like me as a person. Like, I'll do things, mind you, but I'll only do things because I have to. I won't do things because I want to, or if I don't have to. And it turns out with Chaika, she is gathering her father's body parts. I don't remember if we find out why. Maybe it's just to bury them and lay him to rest, I think, but I don't entirely remember. They're also being tracked by another group who want Chaika for reasons. And if you think this all sounds familiar, it is because it is very similar to his previous show, which I did not know he wrote. And that is Scrapped Princess. I did not know he wrote Scrapped Princess, so I went into that show, I was going to watch it anyway, and then I'm like, wait a minute, since they're the same author, why don't I just do a month on this author? Because I do theme months sometimes with these things. So, Scrapped Princess is the story of a young woman named Pacifica who is prophesied to destroy the world when she turns 16. We don't really know how or why, but she's prophesied to destroy the world. So her siblings, who are her adoptive siblings, they are not actually related to her. Does not sound familiar because Toru and his sister are not actually related. They're adopted. Oh, did I mention the fact that Akari is in love with him? Because she's in love with him. Which actually leads to some very funny moments, but we'll get to that. Anyway, Pacifica and her siblings are going to this kingdom. We haven't gotten to why yet, but they're going, and it's basically a family road trip journey. And if you know me, you know I like that kind of show where person A and person B and person C all have to go to this place. I previously watched Sorcerer, Stabber, Orphan for the exact same reason. I will continue that show at another date, but basically this show is very, very episodic. They meet Christopher, who is someone working for an organization who wants Pacifica. They meet Leo, who is a soldier who works for another organization who wants Pacifica, and he's very sweet and adorable. He's the swordsman, basically. Raquel, her Pacifica's sister, can use magic. She doesn't really know why, and she actually explains that she doesn't really know why, which I think is kind of funny, because I think basically it was just the author saying, actually, I don't know why she does this, so we're just going to put this in the story, because people are going to ask me, why does she use magic, and I don't have an answer for them, which, honestly, I kind of respect him for that. I kind of respect him for just blatantly saying, I don't know, she just does. You know, it's very cute. They go on adventures, and at this point in time, they found a group of people who worship someone who claims to be Pacifica, but is not Pacifica, and the person she was with wants to blow up the Capitol. I actually don't know why. I don't think it was ever made clear why he wants to blow up the Capitol. It's also not been made clear why they're going to the Capitol. I'm assuming it has something to do with Pacifica's prophecy, and maybe they want to stop the prophecy, or maybe they want to find out what it actually is. So we'll see when we get there, because we're almost halfway through the show. Show number 3 is Outbreak Company. This show is okay. I don't love this show as much as the other two. Basically, the idea of this show is that a young man is drugged by the government and kidnapped to another world. And my first thought upon hearing this was, wait, he wasn't hit by a truck? Like, he wasn't killed? He's not dead. He's actually, he can go back to the real world at some point in the future. Like, that's ambitious. That's really interesting. Basically, he's now in another world, and he has to teach them about otaku culture. And it's a lot of anime references, and the queen, the person in charge, of course, is a 16-year-old girl who looks like a child, because anime. And she wants him to teach her about otaku culture. But the one thing I keep thinking through this show is, why doesn't she just send people through the portal to do that? There's a portal right there where they can go through and they can learn about otaku culture. If they want people to do that, like if the government wants this world to learn about Japanese and otaku culture, why don't they just send people through the portal? I don't get that. It is funny, and I forget her name. The short-haired one with glasses. She is best girl. I love her. She's amazing. But other than that, the only other one, as I said, was Macademi Wasshoi. Didn't really make any sense. Magician, kid is a magician, goes to a school, and that's basically it. Stuff happens, and I'm like, I got to the point where they see snow, and I'm like, this is it? This is the entire point of the episode? They just see snow? That's it. That's the entire episode. I do like how the villains, they're introduced and they are stealing manga from the library, and they're not stealing it. They're buying manga from the library, and they're buying all of it, and they're just going from store to store or buying all the manga. That was actually legitimately funny. But honestly, that's the only thing in this show that's legitimately funny. It's one of those shows where nothing makes sense, and I'm just like, no, I can't do this anymore. But that is it for today, and tomorrow we will continue episode 10 of Scrapped Princess, or 11, I forget. Episode 3 of Chaika, and episode 5 of Outbreak Company, as I remember.